down here to Moor Road in Hunslet, where again we're going to be looking at the Middleton Railway.
You're joking. Not another one?
Now if you remember, in the last video when we covered the Middleton Railway, I ended it down here and I never went beyond this fence down here. And I did say in the video that it continued into Leeds from this point. Now today we're going to take a look at exactly that. We're going to follow the route of the Middleton Railway as it heads into Leeds and the old coal staithe that was down there in the centre of Leeds, just off the side of where Crown Point Retail Park is today. Now we covered the top side all the way up to the top of Middleton Park, and also we covered this branch line just behind me over here that went down to the Midland line just over there. So what we're going to do today is head that way, and I'm hopefully going to show you the entire route all the way in. Now I'm again joined by Kris, and you may remember Kris from the Middleton Park videos when he came along with Jim and showed us all the beautiful sights in Middleton Park. Now this guy is a whiz when it comes to railways. He knows everything there is to know about these railways around here, so I couldn't have done it without him. So I was on the blower to Kris not long ago and said, please will you come and show me the other side of the Middleton Railway, because I know nothing about it. Anyway, we're hopefully going to show you anything that's left of this line. Now I'm not holding out any hopes for anything major, but I've seen a few things on Google Earth and I'm hoping we can show you something. Okay, so let's get started, and we're going to head down that way towards Leeds city centre. So just before we head on into Leeds, I just wanted to show you these crossing gates behind me here. Now on this site here now, I'm just stood next to the station building for Moor Road. And on this site here, there used to be a road here, which Kris tells me was called Burton Road. Now Burton Road used to run in that direction. It's obviously now been obliterated by the M621 just behind them trees there. There used to be a crossing here where the line headed off out and into Leeds. And there used to be a crossing gates either side of that. And also, this is the branch line that I showed you in the last video where it heads off down to the Midland main line down there. There used to be crossing gates on both sides of this as well. Now there is a gate just down there, and then this one has disappeared, and Kris tells me this is the gate from the other side. I mean, just look at the size of that column there, the supporting column, and the hinges, it's massive. So that would have been the crossing gate from the other side of here, and there used to be the original crossing gates in there for the Burton Road crossing. They've now gone. Okay, so let's take a look at this picture. Now this picture is taken from roughly where the train station building is today, looking across the car park. And you can see the crossing gates in the distance there on the far left. Now that is the Burton Road crossing that I was talking about. And then if you look on the right side of the picture, you can see the branch line as it heads off towards the Midland Railway. And you can also see the other two crossing gates just beyond there. Now let's take a look at this aerial photograph. If you look at the top right of the picture, that's roughly where the station building is today on Moor Road. And you can just see Burton Road as it joins Moor Road on the top right. And also the Middleton Railway as it heads south down the photograph. Now this is roughly where the M621 is today, covering the route of the railway. Also, if you look halfway down the picture in the middle, you can see what appears to be a coal drop or another coal yard. Again, I will explain a bit more about this later on. Also worth noting as well, in the middle of the photograph, you can just see what is the old Hunslet high-level station, which spans across the Midland Railway. Again, we'll cover this in a future video. Right, so I'm now stood on a bridge just straddling the M621 motorway. And we've made our way a bit further up from the Moor Road station where I was a minute ago. Now, there isn't a lot for me to show you between Moor Road and the other side of the A61 here. There isn't a lot for you to see because it's mainly been obliterated by the M621, just like the Hunslet goods line was. And the M621 roughly uses the alignment of the railway. So what I'm going to show you now is Moor Road is somewhere over there, just behind them trees there. And the line would have continued straight forward, roughly where the motorway is today, and across on a diagonal, heading in that direction over there. So just down there in the cutting, you've got the Midland Railway, which is still in use today, and then the Middleton Railway ran alongside it roughly on a ledge a bit higher up than the Midland, because a bit further down there the Middleton Railway crossed over on a bridge. So what you're looking at today is what's left of this area, but as you can see, it's been totally re-landscaped because of the different gradients of the motorway here. And just where I'm stood here now, there would have been an old coal yard or a coal depot just directly here where we're stood now, underneath the bridge, or where the motorway is now, somewhere on this site here. Now just over here we've got Moor Road, the original Moor Road. Now that used to run across here and then sort of curve its way towards me. We've now headed over to the other side of the A61, and I'm stood again next to the Middleton Railway down here. Now this is the only point after the M621 that where we can pick up the route of the Middleton Railway, since all the way down at Moor Road. And where we stood now is roughly where the line would have come towards me from behind the camera and made its way around the back of these buildings here. Now I'm hopefully going to show you, if I can't show you in person, I'll send up the drone and show you that way. The line would have come from behind the camera and headed off round the back of these buildings here. Now the original wall to the side of the Midland still remains here, but it followed the wall as it curved around and it made its way around the back of these buildings. Now this site here is all private businesses now, so I can't go in and it is all gated off. So I might send up the drone while we're here and see what we can see down there. Now there isn't anything left. Don't be thinking I'm going to show you some tracks, because I'm not. But we will head to the other side of the site in a minute and I'll show you where it came out and crossed the road there. I'll just briefly show you here. Where the grass verge is there, behind that van, is where the tracks would have sat as the line came out this way and ran along the back of those buildings. Here is where the Middleton Railway crossed the Midland Railway. Now if you remember when I was on the motorway bridge, I said to you that it was on a ledge higher than the Midland. That's because right here is where it crossed over the Midland Railway. Now just behind me you can see what remains. If you look at the walls, you can see the old abutment there. Yes, I said abutment, you love that word. You can see the old abutment there on that side. Now the bridge came across diagonally from this side across that side, and then the line ran along the side of that building there. Now I'll take you up there in a minute and show you up there. The bridge, like I said, spanned diagonally across, and it was a girder bridge. Now I've got a couple of pictures that I'm going to show you of that bridge while I'm talking, but I can't get in. Oh, we've got a train. I can't get in to the yard down here to show you some of these pictures or match them up of the girder bridge. But what I can show you is from this side, which I'll take you up now and point out roughly where the bridge would have been, and the old gates that are still remaining up here as well. So once again, just as I'm stood on the bridge here, you can just see the other abutment for the bridge just down there on the right, and I might just move a bit further down so you can see that. But you can see where, if I zoom in for you now, you can just see where the bridge left down there and then headed across to this side and this abutment here. Like I said, it was diagonal, and then the line ran directly here. So let's head down there and take a look at where the track was down here. And this is exactly where the line would have run, at the side of this building here. Again, it's private land, so I can't take you down there, but I probably stood right where the track would have been here. And again, we've got an old looking gate here, which is suspiciously, well, it looks old anyway. I'm not going to say for definite that this is an original railway gate, but it looks like something that would have been here a long time. I mean, this line, what year did this line disappear, Chris, here?
This bit closed 1947.
1947, so you're talking a long time ago that this was here, which is why there's not much left today. So maybe I'll take that back about this gate. This is probably far more modern than the railway. But if you look down there, you can see the line where it just left the bridge down there and then headed towards us. Then it made its way straight across here. But again, all of this site here has been reprofiled since. So while we're here again, I'm just going to try and match up a picture just to give you an impression of what it looked like here. And again, you can see the red building on the left, and then you can see the bridge just beyond that as it crossed the Midland down there. So we've just crossed over the street, and you can see here again the clear alignment of the where the line would have run at the back of these mills here, or the factories. Now you can see the curvature there of the buildings as it would have headed off down this way and made its way further down. Now we're going to try join it again a bit further up before it hit the end of the line, which is just further down there. Now the line would have continued obviously down there and then terminated at Kidacre Street, where there was a large coal drop there, and that was the end of the line for the Middleton Railway in the centre of Leeds. Now Kris has just mentioned while we're here as well, you see the bit of wall that juts out there? Well, there would have been another branch from the Middleton which just left and went through that wall there at an angle and into an old gasworks, or the old gasometers that used to sit here, which you can see on a lot of the old pictures of Leeds. There was 2 gasometers here. So we're just making our way up to the Kidacre Street Coal Staithe, which is just behind us. Now here, the line would have had to pass through the gas site here, somewhere on a higher level, obviously, straight through here in that direction. Now Kris tells me that these pipes here were rerouted over, or they ran alongside what was the side of the old railway. So he thinks. And we're just looking to this site here.
Clearly see it through this fence here.
And you can see what remains of an old, if I can get you through there, hang on.
You see the fence at the top of the embankment there.
You can see the fence up there, as Kris says, at the top. And then you can see an old original wall by the looks of it. It runs all along the side down here. So the line obviously came towards us from down there where the gasworks was, towards the camera, on a higher level here, along the line of that wall, and then straight across there and on to where it terminated at the coal staithe, which we're going to take a look at right now, just up here. Okay, so we've reached what is known as Kidacre Street, which is just behind the camera, and I'm stood here at a junction, and I've got a picture again to show you. Hopefully I can match it up. Now this shows where the line would have crossed over on a very low bridge, I'm told, right above my head here, somewhere anyway. It would have crossed over from my right to my left and into the coal staithes, which would have been just over here. But I'm just going to show you this picture now. You can't see the bridge on it. It's already gone at this point. You can see the abutment, and you can see what the mills and things that were in the area. Now, directly opposite me is Crown Point Retail Park. So I'm going to point you around now. So I'm going to try and match this picture up just to show you. You can see the abutment on the left there for the bridge. And you can also see a lot of the mills and the warehouses associated with the goods yard, the Hunslet goods yard at the back. So while we're here, this is now the location of what would have been the Kidacre Street Coal Staithe, or the coal drop. Depends what you want to call it. It would have been in a straight line this way, roughly where this car park island is here. Headed straight down there, running alongside the old goods yard over here, which is now Crown Point. Now I am told in the early days of its existence, it may have continued beyond the coal staithe towards the river down there, where they would have had another staithe on the riverside. But the one we're talking about is this one that I'm going to show you a picture of now, which was right here on this spot. Probably, I don't know, 8-10 feet above our heads. Not far anyway. But as you can see, today, a nice, well, depends on what your opinion of nice is, a modern office development and a retail park, and nothing more than car parks. Although on this side, a lot of the industry or the original infrastructure seems to still be there. A lot of the old brick walls are there. Not been taken over by a plastic box yet.
No, I disagree with this entirely. I'm sorry.